Hello? I'm 2 minutes late. I apologize. How are we doing tonight? I'm doing good. I am doing good. I've gotten some good editing done today. Some good editing done. All right, let's tackle today's video. All right. Are we here? Let's see if you can hear this.
Okay, so now...
Yes, you can. Awesome. Let's do it. This might just be a really short stream tonight. We might just do this video. We'll see.
Now we're going to write a web browser again in Python, but it's going to even be shorter than what we did before. We did it in 10 lines using sockets. Now we're going to do it in 4 lines with URLLIB. So URLLIB really is just because the idea of opening a...
Do we need to do anything with the URLLIB? Like, do we need to download it or something? Since HTTP is so common, we have a library that does all the socket work. Man, I just got here. Does all the socket work for us and makes web pages look like a file. Import URLLIB.request, URLLIB.parse, .error, fand equals URLLIB.request, .urlopen, Romeo.text, 4-line in fand. Print line decode.strip. I want to check something here quickly.
Okay, so now it's what you
this is
typed
what we
on
did
the
last time,
per
but
character. But the problem is that some of it might be UT characters or French characters.
how did you do the... Can we... I wonder if we were to actually do this. Should we try it? Let's try it. What? Disabled because you are running the user scope? Oh, you guys can't see that, but see that. Okay. I'm just gonna call it 15. So if we legit just copy.
In this section, we're going... So here we go. Stream-based socket, and this will blow up if the software is not running.
I'm curious what's going to happen here, but let's just try it. Import socket mysock. Oops. Socket.socket socket.af. Man, I haven't done this in a while. Just actually coded anything. Stream. Wonder if it needs to be all caps like that. Connect. Whoops. Do. Connect. Why does it need to be 2 parentheses? You know what I'm saying? I hope he has it to where this will actually do something. Because obviously if it's not like running, then it's not going to do anything for us. Oh my word, the backslash. I never use backslashes ever. Whoops. which, I mean, that will change. Oops. MySpace sock. While true, data equals mysock.re. Okay. So that's what limits it. I have a bit of a headache going on right now. It's kind of annoying. Oh my goodness. Oh yeah. If the length of data is less than 1, break print data.decode. Go. Almost good. mysock.close. There we go. All right, so moment of truth. Stakes aren't super high here, but still. Change directory desktop. Change directory coding. Ah, my word. Okay. Now, Python 3 15.py. Bad request. Interesting. Your browser sent a request. Interesting. So it did acknowledge that we actually made something, sent a browser, or sent a request that the server could not understand. I have no idea how to like debug this though, so we're not going to worry about it.
Connection, sending a GET request, sending the new line, retrieving the stuff, breaking the headers out, doing all this stuff. That's so common, why not put it in a library to save ourselves some effort? So here's how we do it. We're going to read it in, right? We're going to import this library, so it's not part, we had to import sockets before, but we're going to import URLLIB now. And so this is really quite simple. It's like elegantly simple. You say, URLLIB, that's a library, that's a part of a module within the library, and this is a function. So let's call URL open, and then give it the URL. Now that's a string which it's going to encode automatically for us. So it's taking care of all kind of pretty things.
Sorry, what?
Now that's a string which it's, so let's call URL open. URLLIB, that's a library, that's a part of a module within the library, and this is a function. So let's call URL open, a module within the library, and this is a, you say URLLIB, that's a library, that's a part of a module within the library, and this is a function. So let's call URL open, and then give it the URL. Now that's a string which it's going to encode automatically for us. So it's taking care of all kind of pretty things for us. It does the get, it does the encode. Look back at that previous code. That's kind of what URLLIB is doing for us. Okay.
Okay, so this is kind of complicated, but when he says encode, that's when we like reach our hand over here. That's a bad example. Reach our hand over here. We got to encode it over here, and then it's going to like send over here, and then we have to like decode it once it gets over here. Hence the decode.
Now what URLLIB also does is it makes the connection, encodes the GET request, and then it actually retrieves, at this moment, it retrieves all the headers and keeps them for you for later. You can get the headers, but we're not going to see the headers. And it returns to you an object that looks pretty much, it retrieves all the headers and keeps them for you for later. You can get the headers, but we're not going to see the headers. And it returns to you an object that looks pretty much like a file handle. Because you can put this in the for clause after the in. Now it's going to run that loop one time for every line of this file. And so the lines we're going to get back are bytes, and so we have to say decode. It doesn't do that for us automatically. We are going to have to decode them,
okay.
And that's because we might need to decode them with a particular character set here. And then we're going to do our strip, and we're going to just print this out. So that's like open a file, read through it, and print it. This is open a URL, read through, and print it. And that's as simple as it is. And so that's what happens.
So that's what we get.
This is Romeo.txt, and it prints out. Now the thing to notice is that there are no headers here. The headers have been sort of consumed in the URL open. Again, there is a way to say, hey, give that. There are no headers here. The headers have been sort of consumed in the URL open. Again, there is a way to say, hey, give me my headers. But for now, this is just going to eat the headers and keep them, and then you get to read all the data, and the loop runs, and this loop runs 4 times, and out come the 4 lines. You can go ahead and run this one. It's super easy. I mean, literally.
We can run it. Let's try it. Request URLLIB parse error. I don't get the parse and error yet. I don't understand it. F and equals. For E org. Okay. For line, this is a lot easier than the other one. F hand. Print. Strip. Okay. Actually, now let's try it. But I copied it exactly from before. Didn't I? I want to save this. Copy. But we're gonna just undoing. Import socket. My socket.socket.socket. AFI net. Hold on.
2 new lines.
Stream. Connect. data.pr4e.org 80. CMD. URLLIB is so much easier, oh my word. Get. HTTP follow link. Whoa. Whoa. Interesting. MySuck.send HTTP 1.0. I mean, everything looks. It wouldn't be the space, would it? It wouldn't be the space. MySuck.close. What? I don't know how to decode it. Or not decode it. I don't know how to debug it. I feel like helpless here. Man, my headache though. I can't explain it. It matches. RECV if length of data is less than 1. We'll try this again, but nope.
Super easy. And if you can do anything you want. I mean, treat it like a file. You just have to remember to do the decode bit when you treat it like a file. And so we...
Wait, whoa. The +1?
You get to read all the data, and the loop runs, and this loop runs 4 times, and out come the 4 lines. You can go ahead and run this one. It's super easy. I mean, literally super easy.
Counts equals dictionary. Oh, for line and a half and words equals line dot decode. Dot split for word and words. So that's where it counts each one, print counts.
And if you can do anything you want. I mean, treat it like a file. You just have to remember to do the decode bit when you treat it like a file. And so that code import it. We're going to open it. We're going to make a dictionary. We're going to loop through. We're going to split it. We have to add the decode just to make sure, because that line is bytes, not string. And then we're going to go, our words. We're going to go through the line, and then each line we're going to bounce through the words. The inner for loop is bouncing through the words, and then we're going to go to the next line, and then we make ourselves a dictionary, and we print that dictionary out. Now this in effect, other than
I want to see what this does. For line and F and words equal line dot decode dot split for word and words counts word counts dot get word 0 plus 1 parent counts. What does this look like? Oh. So it just says plus 1. So but's in there 1 time, soft is in there 1 time, and is in there 3 times, sun is in there 2.
importing this, opening it differently, and doing the decode, this is exactly how we would process a file. And so by using URLLIB, you really sort of reduce the complexity of retrieving and reading network resources to the same complexity of reading and dealing with a file locally on your hard drive, which is kind of pretty. So,
reading web pages. The first page, if you like, you can switch to the... Why does it have that there before the second page?
one of the things then we can do is read web pages. That was a text file, but you can get HTML. And so here's how you read a web page. And it's the same kind of code. We read a web page. That was a text file, but you can get HTML. And so here's how you read a web page. And it's the same kind of code. We open a URL. This one happens to have HTML in it, and we read through it, and out comes the HTML. Remember that the headers are there, but they've been eaten by URL open for us. And now we could write a browser that would parse these less thans and greater thans and make links, etc., etc., etc.
Make links.
So if you can make links, etc., etc., and greater than for us. And now we could write a browser that would parse these less thans and greater thans and make links, etc., etc., etc. So if you can come up with ways to find these links, you could actually write a bit of code that would then have a loop that would go up and open a new one. Pull out the links, open a new one. Pull out the links, open a new one. And so you could make a thing that would retrieve you could write a program that would retrieve a page, find the links in the page, and then retrieve those links. And we'll actually do that before the end of the class. And so Python is a very popular language at Google, and I wonder if I think it's a pretty safe bet that the first crawler that they wrote to crawl the web, to build the index, was Python, because literally, that's all it takes to read web pages and pull those web pages into your web crawler database. So, I don't know. Are those the first 4 lines ever written to Google? Who knows? So the next thing that we'll talk about is how you handle that HTML. HTML is kind of yucky and nasty, and so it's not as simple as regular expressions. Regular expressions might help. String parsing and split might help, but it's just too crazy. So we'll talk a little bit about how to use a library to make HTML parsing a lot easier.
Okay. I've heard of screen scraping. I don't know much about it. What will the output of the following code be like? Import URL lib.request. Open. 4-line FN, print line.decode strip. A header, so it won't read the header, and it won't read headers. Yeah, 61%. Oh man, look at this. Whew. We got stuff to do tomorrow. All right, well, that's going to do it for today, though. That's going to do it for today. Shorter stream tonight. I wonder if my light is what's kind of causing me a headache. So I'm going to shut that off here. But thank you guys so much for watching. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. Post in the comments below if you have a prayer request. I'd love to know how I can be praying for you guys. But love God. Excuse me. Oh my goodness. Love God. Love people. And I'll see you guys soon.